Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. So let's invoke the blessing of the Lord before we read. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः ईश्वरा परमः कृष्णः सच्चिदानन्दविग्रह अनादिरादिर्गोविन्दः सर्वकारणकारणम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we have been reading from Trinadapi Sunichena, book by Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki jai. So we are reading from page number 83, Accept the Essence. This is a story about simplicity and duplicity that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ji Maharaj would often tell. There are family priests or kul gurus who are not bona fide gurus. Just as Shukracharya was the kul guru, family priest of the demons. Shukracharya advised Bali Maharaj, don't give dan, charity, to Vaman Deva. He will take away everything from you. Because Bali Maharaj is a Mahajana, a devotee, he rejected that guru. These family gurus become gurus by Vamsha Parampara, which means that his father is a guru and then son becomes guru and then his sons become guru. They become gurus, so-called gurus by this hereditary process, but they are not bona fide gurus. By this hereditary guruship, they earn money, maintain their family by pranama and pranami. They only want these two things, pranam and pranami. That means Danvat pranam, bowing down in obeisance, and pranami, monetary contribution. It is Vedic etiquette that when you come to temple and meet a sadhu or have darshan of a sadhu, you should give something. You should not come empty-handed. We have a pranami box here in the temple. People come to temple, offer pranam before the deity and put money in the pranami box. That is Vedic etiquette. You must come with some presentation or gift. Krishna has said, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prachyati. You may come with fruit, flowers, water, or tulsi leaf, some money or some gift. You should not come empty-handed to temple to have the darshan of the Lord or darshan of a sadhu. Here in India, they observe Vedic etiquette. Once a year, these family gurus go to the disciples' houses to receive pranama and some pranami. Guru Maharaj has come. The disciple pays dandvat, arranges a nice place for Guru to stay for one day, prepares nice prasada for him, and gives some money. He has to pay his yearly due. One day, one of these gurus went to the house of his disciple, and disciple prepared nice food for them. The gurus ate it. Then the disciple, showing Guru Bhakti, came with Haritaki. In English, it is called Mairo Balan. Haritaki is the berry from a beneficial herb prescribed in many Ayurvedic medicinal preparation. If taken regularly, it will purify your blood and improve your digestive system. It is one of the three herbs used in Trifla, three fruits, Harad, Bihara, Amala. Trifla is very beneficial Ayurvedic medicine if taken regularly. Trifla is not an intoxicant. Chewing pan is forbidden and comes under category of intoxicant. Though we offer pan to Lord, we are forbidden to take it. With this logic, many people say, "Oh, you offer pan to the Lord, so why should not we take it?" The Sahajiyas take it, but it is forbidden for us. Krishna is all powerful. He can take pan, beetle, nut, but we have no strength, no power to digest it or to contract its intoxicating effects. Therefore, it is forbidden. But Haritaki is beneficial. Disciple came before Guru with Haritaki. The Guru accepted. Very good. But you should remove what is unnecessary and please give me the edible part. That means Guru was telling disciple to peel it. So that Shishya, disciple, was a speculator, a crude person. He thought, oh, the outer portion of the Haritaki is not edible. The inner part is what is to be taken. Therefore, he threw away the skin and gave the hard seed inside to the Guru. But actually, skin of Haritaki is beneficial part of the fruit. The seed inside is useless and should be discarded. But disciple did the opposite. He was a speculator. He is Bharavahi Saragahi Nai. He does not accept the essence. Rather, he accepts what is unnecessary. Consequently, the Guru could not enjoy Haritaki. He said to his disciple, "You are an unintelligent fellow. Don't you know the inner portion, the hard seed inside, is of no value, and outer portion, the skin is useless? Skin is useful?" The next day, after Guru had taken prasada, that so-called Guru Bhakta disciple brought a cardamom pod and remembering what happened previous day, thought, "Oh, Guru taught me that the inner portion is worthless and outer portion is the best part." Thus he threw out the inner seeds of the cardamom and brought the outer skin and offered to his Guru. Next, Patitya and Kapatya. This is an example of how a crude person, Kapati, only speculates. They do not accept an instruction as it is. They never accept the essence, Sara. They accept the Vastu as Avastu, and Avastu as Vastu, Sat as Asat, and Asat as Sat, real as unreal, and unreal as real. Therefore, Sadhu Guru Mahajanas have said that one who is very serious, very eager to achieve perfection in his human birth, which is Krishna Bhakti, should cultivate simplicity. Those who are real sadhus, Vaishnavas, they are naturally simple. They are not crooked at all. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. This crookedness, kapatya, is a great hindrance on this path of perfection. Patitya, rashness, and kapatya, crookedness, are like disease. A person who has developed crookedness becomes envious, even of the doctor who has come to cure him. So his disease is incurable. In Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has written about Patitya and Kapatya. He has written that there are many people who pretend to be very devotional, but in their heart they are very crooked. Outwardly they pay downwards, from a distance they fall down like a rod. Danvats Maharaj, Danvats, but they are very crooked in their heart and they have no respect at all. They criticize the sadhus, acharyas, gurus, Vaishnavas, but outwardly they pay Dandvat with a very devotional attitude, as if they are very humble. Only outwardly they act like this. They offer worship, but in their heart there is a great duplicity. Jiva Goswami Pada has explained in his Bhakti Sandarbha that such a person cannot make any advancement on the path of perfection. They will still take to karma, jnana, yoga, tapasya, tyaga, and they speak about niti, morality. They speak about renunciation and detachment, penance, jnana, and yoga. Externally, they practice something and pose as if they have a high moral character. But crookedness is in their heart. Outwardly, they pay Dandvat, offer worship to sadhu, guru, but they are very keen to find out fault in sadhu, guru, and Vaishnava. Next, a bona fide guru should not be rejected. Those who leave sadhu's guru and go somewhere else due to their crudeness cannot be delivered. They cannot achieve perfection in their life. There is a saying, Bhumau Sakhalita Padanam, Bhumai Iva Valambanam. Your feet are fixed on the ground, but if by chance you slip, it is only on that same ground that you can stand up again. Nothing else will help you. Similarly, if you left the shelter of the lotus feet of bona fide Guru, only that Guru can give you shelter. No other Vaishnava sadhu will give you shelter. A crooked person who pretends to be humble follower of a sadhu guru will leave that guru and go somewhere else to take shelter. But he should understand that no one can give him shelter beside that guru, that solid ground from which he has slipped. A bona fide guru should not be rejected. If a crooked person leaves his guru and looks for another guru to take shelter of, he should understand that no one else can give him shelter. The offense he has committed thereby can only be counteracted if he comes back and takes shelter there. No one can give him shelter except that Guru, that Vaishnava who gave him shelter in the first place. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami has quoted this verse in his Bhakti Sandarbha. Bhumau Sakhilita Padanam Bhumir Iva Valambanam. No one else can give shelter, only that Guru Sadhu who gave him shelter in the first place. If he is intelligent and a simple hearted person, he will understand this and come back. A crooked person, though, cannot understand this, so he goes somewhere else to take shelter, but no one can give shelter. It may seem that someone has given him shelter, but that is not real shelter at all, because he cannot make any advancement in his devotional path, spiritual path. He cannot attain perfection of his life. Rather, for his great offense he has committed, he will definitely fall down and go to hell. If he does not come back to his Guru and beg to be excused, then his offense cannot be destroyed or counteracted. Unless he comes back, he remains entrapped by his crookedness. In this way, Srila Jiva Goswami has discussed Kapatya in his Bhakti Sandarbha and explained that with this great stumbling block on the path of devotional service, you cannot make any advancement and cannot achieve the perfection in your life. So, three lessons, devotees. Accept the essence. Understand the purpose behind the instruction, not just instruction. That is one thing. That's why blindly we should not take, we should understand the purpose behind. That's where so much philosophy has been explained. And then Kapatya, the crudeness behavior we should leave. And Guru should always be accepted. A bona fide Guru should always be accepted, never to be rejected. So we should stay away from the offense at the lotus feet of Guru and Goranga and Vaishnavas. So tomorrow we'll continue from page number 87. Vaishnavas are Patita Pavana. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Now we'll read from Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we have been reading beginning the temple of Krishna Balaram. Just give me 1 minute. At Prabhupada's request, his governing body commission members had gathered in Mayapur. Their purpose was to discuss ISKCON's preaching activities around the world, then to pass resolution to direct that preaching. This was the first time they had met as a body in Prabhupada's presence. He instructed them how to conduct their meeting. They should not simply talk, he said. Rather, someone should present proposal, which should then be discussed and voted on. All resolutions should be listed in the minutes. Chalk out your plans for the year, Prabhupada said. And then whatever you decide, do not change it, but carry it out. The next year you can meet and discuss again. He was not in favor of prolonged meetings, but he was satisfied to see his GBC secretaries seriously confronting all the items on the agenda for the sake of a growing Krishna conscious movement. One of the main features of the Mayapur festival was the arrival of advance copies of the recently published volume of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The volume contained chapters 7 through 11 of Adi Leela and include color illustrations by Prabhupada's disciples. Chapter 9 especially glorified the Sankirtan movement begun by Lord Chaitanya, and verse after verse ecstatically confirmed the authenticity of Srila Prabhupada's movement. Krishnadas Kaviraj described Navadvip Dhama as the place where Lord Chaitanya had planted the seed of Krishna consciousness tree. In one verse he states, thus the branches of Chaitanya tree formed a cluster of society with the great branches covering all the universe. And Srila Prabhupada had written a conclusive one-sentence purport to this verse. Our International Society of Krishna Consciousness is one of the branches of Chaitanya tree. Prabhupada's, so devotee point to be noted. Yes, what Prabhupada is mentioning, International Society for Krishna Consciousness is one of the branches of the Chaitanya tree. If that is the true, that it is one of the branches, that means Chaitanya tree has other branches also, isn't it? So that means there are pure devotees in other branches as well. So we should never look down upon other sampradayas or other devotees from other organizations, right? Because that will be offense. Because here it says there are other branches are also there. Prabhupada Chaitanya Charitamrita, translation and commentary, was the fruit of Chaitanya tree. It was fully authoritative and parampara, but never merely academic or technical. Its teaching stressed that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to widely distribute devotional service should be the desire of everyone. It left no doubt about what Prabhupada expected from the members of Krishna conscious movement. Quote, the only purpose of the preachers of the Sankirtan movement must be to go on preaching without restriction. That is the way in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the Sankirtan movement to the world. This volume also contained one of the most important verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. भारत भूमि पे हाइला मनुष्य जन्म यारा जन्म सार्थक करी करा उपकारा. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all people. So, point to be noted, devotees, the one who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful first and then make work for the benefit of all people. So, it's a great responsibility if we are born as human in the land of India. In his purport to this verse, Prabhupada explained the special piety of Indians who were always ready to take part in Sankirtan festival. Unfortunately, present leaders of India were leading the people away from God, away from distinguished, pious and sinful acts, and away from belief in the next life. The Indians had the special duty of educating the world in Vedic principles. If all Indians have taken to this path as advised by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada wrote, India would have given a unique gift to the world, and thus India would have been glorified. Moreover, it was only the duty of the Indians, moreover, it was not only the duty of the Indians, but the duty of everyone to help the Krishna consciousness movement. One should know definitely that the best welfare activity for all human society is to awaken the God's consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada stayed with his disciple in Mayapur for a full week, lecturing daily and meeting with smaller groups for many hours. On the day of Gaura Purnima, he went down to the Ganges and took the sacred water on his head. While his men drove off the high bank and swam, the next day he left for Vrindavana, where he would again meet his disciples and introduce them to the Dhamma. Although many of the next section, although many of the Western devotees inexperienced in living and traveling in India were afflicted with indigestion, dysentery, and even in some cases, culture shock and homesickness. They nevertheless traveled to somewhat bedraggled group from Mayapur to Calcutta to Delhi and finally to Vrindavan. Imagine, dear devotees, all the Western devotees, they went to India. They worked very hard, not just India, even in all part of the world. They worked very hard to make ISKCON what ISKCON is today. And all of us are getting the benefit, right? Isn't it? We get so much benefited visiting those temples and our local temples, so much association. But there are huge group of devotees who worked hard. Imagine they were sick, they were having indigestion, dysentery, homesickness, but they continued in the service of Prabhupada. So much glorified devotees. If they have not done so much hard work, right, where we will be. Since the Vrindavan temple guest house was still mostly a construction site, the devotees had to stay at nearby Fogel Ashram, while Prabhupada again took up residence in his newly constructed rooms near the site of Krishna Balram Mandir. So again, Vrindavan temple we visit, Krishna Balram temple, so beautiful, so nice arrangement. They have all the stay arrangement. They have a Govinda restaurant, right? So nice facility. Now you can take your family, relatives there nicely. But so much hard work these devotees did in those days. The devotees would see him regularly on morning walks and during the morning Bhagavatam class. He would also come in the evening sometimes to speak under an outdoor pavilion at Fogal Ashram. Noticing that not many devotees attended his first evening meeting in his room, Prabhupada inquired and learned that many of them were out visiting Vrindavan's famous old temples and other pilgrimage sites, while others were shopping in the bazaar, and still others were sleeping. Bring them all back, Prabhupada said, annoyed. Coming to pilgrimage means to come where the sadhus are. I am here, so why is everyone going elsewhere? On hearing this, so many devotees came to Prabhupada's room that they could not all fit. Prabhupada began talking about tapasya austerity. The tapasvis in Vrindavan go naked, he said, even in the cold. They are determined not to take birth again for material life. He described how the living entity before birth remains crammed within the womb, a condition much like being tied by hands and feet and thrown in an ocean. Worms within the mother's body bite the skin of the embryo, and living entity suffers. Because Maya deludes us into thinking we are happy, Prabhupada explained we have to again enter the womb of a mother. And although in one lifetime we may be a wealthy human being, in next life he may be a bug or hog or dog. So this life is for tapasya, Prabhupada said. But we cannot execute severe penances in this age. So our penance is to try to reform poor crazy persons. One should take voluntary pains for Krishna. Krishna comes to save the fallen souls. So if you help a little, he will be pleased. Krishna comes himself and he sends his devotee and he leaves books and still we are mad for sense enjoyment. Our penance, therefore, is to try to reform the fallen souls. Prabhupada's preaching uplifted his disciples, whose duty was to preach to the citizens of many lands. They had come at Prabhupada's bidding to visit Mayapur and Vrindavan, but their real work was to save fallen souls of their native countries, and Prabhupada's preaching filled them with their determination. Later, one of the devotees told Prabhupada that dealing with devotees was sometimes more difficult than dealing with materialists. And he mentioned a well known problem case, a devotee named Makhan Kora. That is your penance, Prabhupada said. Your penance is to work with Makhan Kora. We should take anxiety. For a sane man to work with a crazy man is not pleasurable, but the service to Krishna is pleasurable. Prabhupada described how he had left his peaceful life in Vrindavan to take on so much burden and anxiety for Krishna, just as he had taken a risk by going to America in old age. So his disciples should accept whatever difficulties were required in preaching Krishna consciousness. The work is not pleasurable, Prabhupada said, but making so many devotees is pleasurable. Although devotees had been visiting the various temples of Vrindavan, eager to imbibe the Vrindavan spirit, the real nectar came when Prabhupada, sitting in his room, spoke about Vrindavana. Vrindavana is for Paramhamsas, he said. You cannot see Vrindavana with Vishaya, or material spirit. The test is how much you have conquered over eating, sleeping, mating. Don't think you can just come to Vrindavan and become a Goswami. One who comes to Vrindavan with a material spirit will take birth as a dog or monkey in Vrindavan. That is his punishment. But the dogs here are also Vaishnavas. So we'll stop here. So the lesson learned here or teaching is whenever we go to the any pilgrimage, we have to find a sadhu and hear the Hari Katha. not just to go to pilgrimage and look for local sweets and other thing. Right. That was not the purpose. As Vidura went to pilgrimage, he looked for matrimony in Bhagavatam, right? So pilgrimage, when we go, we have to look for a sadhu and sit and hear Harikatha. So we'll stop here. We'll start from 237 page. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So anybody has any question, correction, chastisement, any realization before we continue our chanting? वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय।